Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Z Talks episode 3, and welcome to just a Thursday night stream where, if you guys are unfamiliar, Z Talks, we basically just have a chilled, laid out time, talk about whatever, whenever, and if you guys have any questions for any of my guests, feel free to drop them in the live chat. But joining me this week, Elliot couldn't make it for anyone because Elliot was originally supposed to be here tonight, but he couldn't make it. So instead, we've got two awesome guests, and firstly, I just want to introduce Pete from PlaytendoGuy, who I've been watching his channel for a while now, and I've been trying to find a way to collab with Pete. So Pete, welcome to the channel, man. How are you doing?
Oh, thanks for inviting me on, Mike. Yeah, I'm doing not too bad. I've been really looking forward to this live stream. This is the fourth one I've done this week.
Ooh, damn.
Okay. Damn, and is this your last one for the week as well, or?
No, I've got one tomorrow as well.
Damn.
Dude, you're a machine. Absolute legend. And one thing I love about Pete's channel, which, by the way, the link for Pete and Justin's channel is in the description box below, so please go subscribe to those guys. One thing I love about Pete's channel is just, man, we're going to get into it very soon as well, because it's a segment I want to talk about, but the physical media collection this guy must have is absolutely bar none. So,
yeah.
I'm dying to talk
I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Well, next I just want to introduce my other guest today, and it is a guy who has been on my channel several times now. He's been on mostly live stream, but we have collabed on the Michael J. Fox filmography of The Secret of My Success, and that is Justin from Lomas Entertainment. So Justin, how you doing, man?
What's up, everyone? I'm doing good. Yeah, like I got my sick time back at work today. So I was like, you know what? Whenever I get my sick time back, treat myself to one day. So like today I got an ultrasound for this little thing in my neck I'm going to get removed. Not a big deal, don't worry.
Okay.
And I went to mow the lawn. As Mike pointed out, looks like I got some sun. So he noticed it, not me. But I was editing, and then I figured, why not? I want to enjoy myself. I got the day off. Let's do a live stream. I'm all about it.
Awesome. And yeah, dude, yeah, appreciate you taking your own time off on like your day off to come do the stream.
I missed you. It's been like forever.
Missed you too, man. Missed you too. I think the last time we collabed was for the Batman, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeez, that was forever ago. That was 2 months ago. What the hell?
Wow.
It seems like a while ago. Yeah, Pete, did you see the Batman movie?
Yeah, I saw the Batman movie. It seems like only yesterday when that came out. Can't believe it's 2 months ago now.
We got what? I think The Northman and Firestarter goes on streaming tomorrow too, right?
Oh, really?
I believe.
Well, like ours is maybe different to you guys in America, because the Northman's still shown at the cinema, and Firestarter doesn't come out till tomorrow for us. But earlier on, I just did a stream about an hour and a half ago, and Perez was saying, Anthony Perez, if anyone who's unfamiliar, I was saying that Firestarter things on Peacock also today, and in the cinema.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on today. Okay, shit.
Yeah.
I literally work for that company. I should probably know.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, I think it's just a case of like time flies by so quick, and especially with like cinema releases, there always seems to be like some big movie, and then like it gets its kind of like time in the limelight, then it kind of disappears, and then we get like the Batman. I'd say it seems like not long ago, and then all of a sudden, then the Northman. And then now Firestarter and, whatever. Well, firstly, just want to say hi to Sophie from Sophie's Retro Revival. Sophie, thanks for joining us for a second stream today. And she also says, I want to be cringe and say how lucky I am to have Pete as a friend. He's a top guy. Yeah.
Thanks, so.
Yeah,
I would have thought Pete was a bottom. I'm sorry, Mike. I had to.
That's fair. But no, Sophie, well, firstly, thank you for being here. Yeah, Pete's awesome, and as I said before, I want him to definitely be like on the stream and like collab with him in some capacity. So yeah, as I say, for anyone who's tuning in now or after or like coming into the chat, please leave any and all questions. We're basically just here to answer like a Q&A and stuff. So, and Cinematic just says 2 live streams today. Yeah, dude, I'm on fire today. I'm on a roll. I just felt right, screw this. Let's bring the live streams, and I have a blast doing these, and I love doing reviews and talking about like a pre-recorded video, but it's nothing better than like a live stream, just your raw thoughts. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to start this off with kind of like a little segment I want to talk about, and that is physical media, because I think I've told Pete about this, but I basically don't own like any physical media, and it's not. I know it's crazy. It's not the fact that I don't want to. It's more the fact of like I used to years and years and years ago, because in around 2011ish time, I used to work at like a CD DVD shop. And when I was there, I used to just buy DVDs loads and used to get them cheap off Amazon. And I had a bit of a collection, and I just thought I don't need them anymore. I'll just get rid of them. And like now, as I'm starting to get a little bit older, I'm like, and seeing like Pete's channel, of course, like, and Justin's with like these collectors unboxing, like that's really starting to get me like really like into it. And a couple of other channels like Jacob Martin and stuff. So I'm gonna ask Pete first, because if anyone's unfamiliar with Pete's channel, he literally just has physical media galore. So when would you say that you started collecting like physical media?
Oh, physical media. Well, I started ever since I was a kid with video games. Literally, I've got hundreds of them, and then it started to move to films like about 2 or 3 years ago. And just like I've got bookshelves everywhere now, full of it, spread all through the house.
Dude, so how many? If you had to just guess, right? Because you're probably not going to know unless you took the time to physically count. How many DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks would you say you have in your collection?
It's got to be around 1,000. Got to be.
Dude, that's nuts. And have you ever thought of doing like a full physical media video of like showcasing the full thing?
I have thought about it, but it's going to take a few days and quite a lot of work to do.
He's like, that means I have to dust off everything, make it look nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think like doing like that would be cool, but like maybe it's like a live stream. Like just put the camera up and be like, right, here's row A, row B. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Justin, what about you, man? When did you start collecting physical media?
It was the same deal for me. Like once I started like getting money, like my mom used to give me money for lunch every day, and I was on ADHD medication, so I wasn't hungry during the day. It was a side effect. So I was like, screw it. I just won't eat. I'm going to save this money for movies and stuff. So I would like go to, we had Circuit City. It used to be here, but that hasn't been in the US for like 10 plus years, I think now. But I would go to either Circuit City. I remember like calling out sick some days when like King Kong would release, or like Harry Potter 4 or something. I would go and get it on DVD, just spend all day checking out the special features. But even up until now, like I'm still collecting 4Ks, and like my other friend Mike would teach me about going to like the dollar stores here, because they'll have movies that aren't like crap movies, but they're just like movies that like weren't selling well, and eventually they'll make it to the dollar stores. So I'll pick up like a few like G Kids anime movies that I know I like that are $20 at Best Buy or on their website, and they're at the dollar store brand new.
Right. Yeah, and especially if you can get them for like $1. It's kind of like $1 or $20, you know? I don't think we have like anything similar as such. I know with like Pete, I know we've got like a shop called One Below.
Yeah.
That is like probably like one of the biggest ones with like Blu-ray now, besides like CX and HMV. But yeah, just first you want to click out. Sophie said, Justin, you've got an awesome Goosebumps t-shirt.
Thank you. Say cheese and die.
That is.
I gotta go this way.
It's brilliant.
I like it. I'm rocking Scooby-Doo today, the Mystery Machine.
And I just have to say, I have to check out your channel, man, because that sounds awesome, and I love physical media. And I feel bad that I haven't even heard of you yet. So regardless, it's still nice to meet you once again.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, honestly, like Justin, you'll not be disappointed. Like seriously, like so every week Pete does a video where he does like his weekly pickups, and then he does his monthly pickups, and some of them are like 30 pickups, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, 40 odd some months. I remember one month last year, I've got about 80.
That's nuts, man.
And what's your address? He's like, I got that shit in a vault in my basement. He's like, no one's gonna see my collection.
Right. It's crazy because I mean, as I say, I know like Justin's done some unboxings, which we're going to get into. Very quickly, we've got Lego M News and Ada saying, "Hey guys, so hey man, how you doing?"
Excuse me, Mike. Excuse me, Mike. He said hello there.
He said hello there. He did. Here's a cool question. So Sophie asks, "What Back to the Future character is your favorite?" Hers is Marty. Now, before we answer it, are we talking about the first Back to the Future movie, or are we talking about the trilogy as a whole? Because there's so many different characters come into like different movies. But I tell you what, we're gonna go with Justin first. So Justin, if we're going to take Back to the Future trilogy as a whole, who would you say is your favorite character for the whole trilogy?
I would say, like, regardless of the actor and what happened behind the scenes and stuff, I would kind of say, like, even though I love Marty, like, obviously the go-to answer is Marty, because, like, I feel like everyone's favorite will be Marty, but, like, and I'm not reducing people who say all three movies. I would just say George McFly, because, like, especially, like, how he was, and you could see if, like, he grew up in the first one. You saw how much of a nerd and, like, a wuss he was. And then you find out, like, when they go back in time, he's this nerd who finally says, screw it, I'm standing up for myself. And, like, the next three movies, he's just, like, this respected dude. Like, he's not a big, tough guy, but he's just respected amongst people, you know?
Right. Yeah, and he's, like, such a unique character, and especially in the first movie, the closest you'll ever get to, like, a George McFly is the Back to the Future, the musical. Hugh Coles, who plays George McFly in that, he's, like almost to the T, exactly like Crispin Glover.
Nice.
And Pete, you haven't seen the musical yet, right?
No, I haven't. No,
I haven't either. No.
Nah. Well, Justin, I think it is coming to America at the end of the year or next year.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Pete, I'm assuming you've seen Back to the Future trilogy.
Yeah, seen him. Yeah, really enjoy him. For me, I'd probably say Doc Brown. Just love his character. So eccentric. I think the actor who plays him is brilliant. What's his name? Christopher. Oh, I forgot now.
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to. Yeah, I just think he's really good. Also, Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox is brilliant. Have you ever played the Back to the Future game, the Telltale game?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
I feel like I like that game, and I definitely think it's, like, for fans, I definitely think it's something to play. What I like, I don't know about you, Mike, not to get off topic, but, like, I don't know if I would see a movie adaptation of that, just because, like, if you're going to do one thing, it might as well be, like, huge, you know?
Right.
But I think the story of that was he just, like, went back to the 30s when Emmett was a little kid, right?
Yeah, like just like in his teenage years.
Yeah, sorry.
No, dude, it's cool. So yeah, by all means, if you want to go off topic, go for it. That's what this is for. But yeah, no. So I think that's cool choices, and I think just to answer Pete on his Telltale game, so we've all played it. It's a pretty cool game. I think if they were ever to like adapt that, I think it'd be good to adapt it into like a mini cartoon like series, like the same.
I'd be down for that.
Because like overall, it was a cool story. But I would personally love to see a Back to the Future video game, like made with like the PS5 or Xbox, like latest Xbox graphics. You play through every single movie, or even if they just released the first movie, then the second one, then the third one as like separate games, and you have the choice of playing as Marty, or they maybe give you a side story of like playing as Doc, like in the end of the first movie where he goes into the future, and then wrapping up that game, you can play as Doc, and then come back and get Marty to take him to the future. Or play as like Jennifer as like a side character and see what she's been doing this whole time with Marty and Doc's in the past. I don't know. I think something like that would be like a cool game to get it right. I know they're doing a DeLorean VR game, so
that would be cool.
Yeah, it's being developed. I don't know, by like a couple of like indie developers at the moment, but I'm hoping it might be good. So to answer that question, I would say my favorite character is Marty first. Of course, like my idols, Michael J. Fox. Met the guy, got him tattooed on my arm. So,
wow,
Michael J. Fox is my favorite. But I'd say if I had to go for a second, I would probably say Crispin Glover. I would say as well, yeah, like George McFly. Don't think there's ever been one like him. But yeah, Sophie says she loves George McFly. Found a new love for Crispin Glover. Yeah, although I have heard in person he's a weird guy. So like very strange guy.
I've definitely seen like his interviews back when he was on Letterman years ago. I think he finally admitted those were like over embellished, like when he was on it, like he knew what he was doing, like going over the top. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but like I was listening to a Crispin Glover interview on Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, his podcast, and he was saying like people have come up to him all the time at these like book signings and like theater events and stuff like that, saying like, hey, sign this from Back to the Future, hey, sign that. And Crispin said like for his books and stuff, he doesn't charge people anything. But he said the Back to the Future fans got like so crazy, he just had to start charging for it.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So one of the stories that I've heard, which is very similar, Justin, is and one of the things is, if you're a Back to the Future fan, they basically don't have Crispin sign anything. So because the issue is the fact that obviously there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes with him and Bob Gale, and like he sued them and etc. back in the day.
Yeah.
But what happened was a few years ago, especially, is he made like this kind of like low budget movie. I don't know if it was like his own film studio or something.
Yeah.
And obviously, like people came to the premiere, checked out his movie, and obviously afterwards, people hung around. They obviously wanted his autograph, and they wanted to sign him the Back to the Future piece. And basically, the way he signs his autograph is his writing is kind of like a 7-year-old kid to start with. But he doesn't just write his name like Crispin Glover. He'll write specifically, be like, "Thank you for coming to see my show, Crispin Glover."
Yeah.
So that's what he does in autographs. So if you want Back to the Future, in the future, if you ever saw that, they're going to be like, "Well, what do you mean? Thank you for coming to my show." He literally writes that.
Yeah.
So
I know it's weird. So a lot of people just choose like they'll never get his autograph on the Back to the Future piece because it ruins it.
Yeah, because usually, like, I know some people at conventions like they won't personalize it, or they're only going to do personalizations and stuff. Because like,
yeah,
but usually, like, if someone wants to sell something to make money, the people who are selling those autograph ops know that, and they'll price their autograph accordingly.
Right. Right. Yeah. Completely agree. We've got Adam from What the Jimmy says, "Hey guys, how's your week been so far?" Well, good from my end. I'm off working out till Tuesday, so it's good. What about you guys? You having a good week so far?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit tired.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, from doing 5 live streams.
Right. We've got Cinematic Tendency here saying next week releases in America is a movie called Men and Downton Abbey: New Era. He said, "What movie are you guys watching first?" So, Pete, what movie's next on your list to see?
Honestly, really don't know. It's probably the next film I'm going to see at the cinema will be Lightyear. That really does look good.
Yeah. I was kind of more so on that movie from like the second trailer.
Yeah.
The first one didn't really blow me away. I was like, what's this? The second one, I think it's going to be interesting how it's going to connect it to the Toy Story, of course, franchise, unless they kind of keep it a bit ambiguous, like reference it to an extent, maybe like background posters or whatever, and then maybe keep it open, because if Lightyear successful, I can't imagine they wouldn't do like a sequel, especially when they've got like maybe some story to go on. Justin, what about you, man? What's your next movie you're going to go see at the cinema?
So like, I'm just so behind on stuff. Like I've been running around. I haven't even watched too much at home. I've even been dropping some TV shows just because like they're not like, sometimes I would just watch like so TV shows, but movies. I still have to see The Northman. I want to see Firestarter. I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts 3 yet.
Don't.
I'm gonna, I got a Harry Potter tattoo, so like I'm gonna see it either way. But either that or I'm going to Australia in a few weeks. So I think my friend Candace said Jurassic Park comes out when we're over there, so we're gonna go see that.
Oh, nice.
I believe
nice.
so.
Nice. And is this the first time you've been to Australia, or?
This is the first time I'm going to a different continent. So yeah.
Right.
I've been to Canada, so.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Pete, have you seen The Northman?
No, I haven't seen The Northman yet, but I definitely want to watch it. I'll probably get it when it comes out on physical.
Yeah. Oh, like honestly, the way it was shot is amazing. I think you guys will have a good time with that one. Fantastic Beasts was okay, but for me, I think I'd probably rank it the lowest out of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Even as the second one, I wasn't keen on the second one. I thought I was a bit boring.
Yeah, and it's funny though, because like the second one, I liked some of the effects, and I just loved Johnny Depp in that movie. I thought he was like the saving grace for that
good
movie.
In it,
yeah.
And then now he's gone in this one, so it's like, all right, okay. like the only thing I really liked about the last movie, and I'm done talking about that.
Right. Yeah. Well, man, I'll be intrigued to hear your thoughts on the new Fantastic Beasts when you get to see it. We've also got here just Adam saying there should be a local co-op Back to the Future game. Yeah, that could be cool. Again,
that would be good.
I guess depends how they would work it. Well, we're all gamers here, so I think we'd like to see it to some capacity. Lego News says, I love Marty, but I would say Doc Brown's my favourite character because in scenes he's just talking about messing the time continuum and paradoxes. I just find those scenes most interesting. Yeah, he's always messing.
Good point.
Definitely.
And so he says, I will get Crispin Summer to sign something Friday the 13th, part 4.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam says, Martin Doc, my favourites. It's cool. J6 says, hey guys, just tuned in. You need to watch the Mr. Beast Reacts video first. He said, have you guys seen the new Resident Evil Netflix series trailer that released today? If so, what's your thoughts? So I've seen it. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, we'll go with you first. What was your thoughts?
So the one thing was, like, I originally heard the plot that came out and I saw the picture. And like I don't get too bent out of shape about like representation and stuff, but like Albert F. Wesker was like modeled after like the perfect white guy, like someone who like Adolf Hitler would have like thought was perfect, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes. He always thought like Wesker thought he was a superior race. Okay. And now in this new one, he's a black dude. So like that's the only time I get a little weirded out, as if like the skin color has something to do with the character. But no, like even past that though, I thought was going to take place and have it be like all 4 of his daughters, but then it like apparently in the trailer it skips forward like 20 years, which is kind of interesting. Like so right. that portion kind of like intrigued me, but I'm still like 50-50.
Right, get you. And Pete, so you haven't seen the trailer, but have you seen like the other Resident Evil movies?
Yeah, I see the recent one. That wasn't that good. The recent one weren't. It wasn't very true to the game. It had a couple of cool moments in it, but not very good. But I heard this TV series is coming out. It's been coming out, been in the works for a little while, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just been getting produced by Netflix, so you just think you have like a good budget behind it. I would say about like, the latest movie. The best thing I enjoyed about that movie was the faithfulness to like the locations of the games. I think they kind of like got that spot on with like the police station and that kind of thing. But overall, it was a weak movie.
Yeah.
But what I would say about the trailer, Pete, because I've seen it as well today, is it looks quite interesting because like the start of the trailer is kind of like just like London set in like 2022. And it's just like, you know, like just like normal world, nothing post like apocalyptic, like anything like that. And then it shows them experimenting with the T virus. And then it shows it like 20 years later where the world's basically just wiped out and like how it's going to go from there. So I think it looks pretty good. Like it looks like it's going to be like a lot of zombie action. And I'm glad that they're doing it as a series though, because I feel like they're going to be a chance to like build these characters up. And even if we don't know the characters, because I don't think they're referencing like Claire or like Leon or Chris Redfield, anyone, like it might give us a chance to like really care about these characters.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to go for like audience for people who don't know what Resident Evil is about, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It looks like it's going to go in like a different route, so I'm interested to see how it's going to go. Surely after the Mila Djokovic movies and the last one, they can't mess this up. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping.
I guess they could have it to where like if you. Like obviously they're rebooting it, but maybe like Leon and Claire can obviously not even be involved or anything. Maybe they could just be like older characters, like in their 50s or something. Like why? Who knows?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they set it in London as well, so I'm not sure if I can't remember. I might be wrong, but I don't think they've set the other movies in London.
Yeah, no, they have not.
No.
So I think it's going to be interesting anyway. But yeah, we've also got Sophie saying that David Bowie playing a Lightyear trailer sold it to her. Yeah. Awesome song. Adam saying that he loves Bowie. Space Oddity is his favorite, and then Sophie was saying that she has a Bowie tattoo on her arm. So that's cool. Was that Justin? Is that CD vinyl?
45. Yeah, my friend Dave is a big vinyl guy over in California, and he sent it to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
awesome.
Adam asks, "Do you guys like Bowie?" Well, Justin does.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, great singer. Yeah, great singer. Some of the films he's been in have been great, like Labyrinth and Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Really think he's a good actor.
Yeah. I've never seen Labyrinth.
Me neither.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's such a good film.
Do you think us watching it for the first time in 2022 will enjoy it, or?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I suppose it could be dated in some parts, but it's just a lot of fun. And David Bowie, who plays like the Goblin King, is just having a whale of a time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I know it's got like a cult following, and I know a lot of people love that movie. I've just never checked it out. I don't know why. But I think I will. I'll get to it. Somebody says, yeah, dude, definitely. Somebody says I have a huge David Bowie vinyl collection. I must do a video.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know vinyl's extremely popular. It's had like a big revival over the last couple of years. So yeah, definitely if you love doing that content and you love, David Bowie, to show it off. Trav says, hey, Z and peeps. So I'll tell you what, we'll go on to another subject. So I was going to ask you guys is, have you seen any movies this week, or what was the last movie that you watched? Pete, we'll start with you.
Oh, I'm thinking what I'm watching. Oh, wow. I did see Thor Ragnarok at the weekend for the first time. Really enjoyed that one.
Awesome. Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Yeah. Way different to the other two Thor films. So much more bright and colourful and quite funny. More life into it, shall I say.
I'll just drink my water and be quiet.
Definitely. And I know, like, and I know I think a lot of that movie was improvised as well. And yeah, I think it's better than the other two Thor movies, in my opinion. So yeah, dude, like Ragnarok's awesome. I'm excited for Love and Thunder as well. I think that's going to be quite interesting the way they go.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Justin, what about you, man? What was your last movie you saw?
Well, my friend Dana, she just hasn't seen a lot of movies, so I got it on 4K. Never watched it on 4K. We watched Big Fish. And so check that out. The 4K transfer looked like decent, nothing special compared to like Scott Pilgrim or other movies. But we also watched, there's a movie on Hulu called like Funhouse or something like that. It's
I'd like to say I've heard of that, but I'm not sure.
It's basically just all these people get woken up and they're in this room and they have to kind of play this game and it's almost like Saw in a way, but all the people that are in the room are like superficial models and superficial like YouTubers and stuff like that, people in the media, and they're just kind of like competing and going against each other. Like, it was cool. It wasn't bad. The ending was kind of but 5 minutes into it, there's this dude with like sunken eyes and slick back blonde hair. I was like, that's got to be one of the Skarsgård dudes. And it was like some new Skarsgård brother. I think there's like 15 of them now or something.
There's so many like Skarsgårds. Like I can't keep up. The main one I know is the one in It. Is it Bill?
Bill,
yeah. That's the main one I know.
Bill Skarsgård, and then Stellan Skarsgård. I think he's in Thor.
And Alexander, the one in Northman, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then the dude in this Funhouse movie, his name is like Walter, like it's Walter but with a V.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, and I'm sure there's more of them. They're like the Culkin kids and cousins or whatever.
Right. Yeah, dude, I've got no idea. We've also got Trav tries to say he can't wait for Love and Thunder. Adam says also does well. Here's a horror movie question. So GTX asks horror movie related question. Friday 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw. You have to erase one from existing. Which one would it be? So I'm gonna go with Nightmare on Elm Street. The simple reason is I've never seen any of the movies, so for me it makes like no difference. And I know, guys. I need to watch them. I've got them on my list. I'm going to be watching them at some point. But yeah, well, Pete, we'll hand it over to you. Which one would you erase?
Well, it's going to be similar to you. I'm going to erase Friday the 13th because I've never seen any. I've seen loads of Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Texas Chainsaws, but never seen Friday the 13th film.
Really?
No.
Dude, some of them are awesome. There's some stinkers in the franchise, but it's just a slasher. You go there for Jason kills. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on Friday 13th if you ever get to check them out. I saw the Blu-ray and CX the other day actually for the first one. It was only like £3 or something.
Yeah, I actually do have the Blu-ray, but I haven't seen it yet. It's still sealed.
I feel that.
Right. And Justin, what about you?
I'd say easily. I'd probably say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, I'm not a big Michael Myers fan. I do like I like the original for what it was, but like I like this 2018 one a lot better. And then I didn't mind Halloween Kills. Like, it was decent. There were some things I didn't like, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I saw the original one, which again was like decent. I'm sure it was like impactful for when it came out. And then I saw one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies that had like, I think Matthew McConaughey was in it or something like that. I forget. Yeah, he was in one of them I saw, and I was like, this was shit.
I think it's The New Generation. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, I think with all franchises, they've got their good movies and they've just got like their absolute stinkers movies. But I mean, all of them just go there just for the kills. Like the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't great, but you went there for the kills, and that's what you got. But we've got a question from Lego M News here. He says, what are your thoughts on the MCU Fantastic Four? Because I'm worried as hell because they want to end up like Fantastic Four from 2015 or 17. I can't remember what year, which they hate with a passion. So I'm going to be open first. I haven't seen the latest like remake of the Fantastic Four. I've seen the original ones with like Chris Evans in.
Yeah.
But I'll get into my thoughts in a second. Justin, what about you? What's your thoughts on the new Fantastic Four MCU is going to do?
So, my thing is, like, obviously, with everything the MCU is busy with right now, we already know what their projects are the next, like, year or two. So, I think it's probably not going to come in until, like, maybe, like, 2024 at the earliest. Right. Maybe. I know they had a director, then they lost the director, but, like, I don't know. I just want to. I would just like to see completely new actors at this point. Like that's the one thing I want. Like obviously Marvel likes to play homage to certain characters from other companies and whatnot. But like I think just having new actors play the characters. I think maybe a new story or angle. Like the one thing I can at least give the 2015 movie credit for was having like this different version. Like stuff happened differently, but it's just. The movie turned out like crap, man. They like outsourced all their special effects to like some like foreign country and like sometimes they do that. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just it just didn't turn out well. And
okay,
but yeah, what I think they're gonna do with it, like I said, it's just plain and simple. I think they're just gonna get a whole new cast. They're gonna wait a bit, and I think maybe. I don't know, because people always had that long-standing rumor they wanted John Krasinski, but I think maybe like if he did have any involvement with that new one, maybe like he would direct and not star. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go with it because they haven't announced any like official casting.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone's seen Doctor Strange, Slice World, you get a little bit of a hint. I'm not going to tell you who, of course, but there's a bit of a hint. So it could happen. Just very quickly, Pete, before we hear from yourself, Cinematics just commented, in fact, he said, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer for me as one of the coolest scenes of comic book movies, Human Torch chasing the Silver Surfer. Yeah, so for me, with the Fantastic Four movies, I like them. Like the original ones, they're not great, don't get me wrong. They're not like, Hollywood blockbusters you're going to revisit time and time again. But like, those are the movies that I grew up in my teenage years, and I remember getting the PS2 game. So for me, like I have this like special place for those movies, and you got to think that was our introduction to Chris Evans. I'm hoping in some like MCU timeline in the future they do a multiverse where they bring Chris Evans back as Captain America even one last time, and he comes face to face with his Human Torch persona. I think would be cool.
Or they could even do it to where like you see Chris Evans like walk on. And he's got a beard, and like everyone thinks they're gonna like pull up the shield, but then he just says "flame on" instead or something. Like he psychs everyone out. He thinks he's like everyone thinks he's Cap, but then he just says that. And there's like, oh, what?
Right. I mean, that would be cool. I'm excited to see if they'll ever do that, but I think they kind of want to get Chris Evans now. I heard his paycheck in Robert Downey Jr.'s was like too much, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, Pete, what about you? Back to the question about the Fantastic Four. What do you think about Marvel's kind of decision to bring it back?
Well, I think they'll do a good job. I think with casting, Marvel hasn't really done anything wrong with this like MCU casting. I think every single casting has been pretty top tier. I think they've got the right actor for the right role. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I haven't mind what they've done with the current phase for Marvel, but I think again, Fantastic Four is going to come like probably nearing the end of Phase 4, like probably 2024, as you said. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they're doing. I haven't seen Fantastic Four Stick or whatever it's called that came out in 2015. I've got it, but it's hidden somewhere, and I probably ain't going to watch it. But the first two, I enjoyed them. They're solid, fun films.
Yeah, like you, Pete, I haven't seen that one either. I've just heard nothing but bad things. So I was like, I'm not going to put myself through it. But yeah, I think one thing that you touched on, when I've got to agree with, is I don't think Marvel's done a bad casting choice through every movie they've done. There's not been one person being like, right, they're miscast for that role. So yeah, I think I've got to agree with you guys. I'm interested to see like where they're going to go with it, because at the moment with Marvel and the phases they're going through, especially like Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, they're going in more of like a horror, kind of like out of world kind of scenarios. So unless they're going to have Fantastic Four in that universe or their own separate universe in the MCU, I think they'll do it right. At the end of the day, they're not going to spend this money and announce Fantastic Four project for it to bomb, because like a lot of fans have been like, well, they don't like any interpretation of the Fantastic Four. So if Disney gets it wrong, then I think they're probably going to lose some fans because of that. We've got Dr. Impossible, switching up a little bit. Dr. Impossible as best Bowie film was one you might have heard of, or maybe not. Absolute Beginners, British musical with Bowie and directed by Julian Temple. Cost of fortune, made colourful and very underrated. Have you seen that one, Pete?
I haven't actually heard of that one before. No. I'm now actually having a look online, but I'll have to see if I can pick up a DVD or Blu-ray of that. Dr. Impossible knows all these hidden, unknown films, so you'll always be sure to find out new films whenever he joins the stream.
Oh, okay, cool. I've never seen them on the stream before, so hey, Dr. Impossible. Yeah, Absolute Beginners.
1986.
He said, okay, yeah, I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. Sophie says that's on my list to try and get a hold of. So it sounds like it's going to be quite a hard one to get a hold of, or maybe like an eBay auction, maybe. And it says, I do remember seeing Absolute as small cinema in Soho. It flopped at the time, but it got some class. So yeah, it might be like a cult following kind of movie by the sounds of it. I'm not too sure. But thank you for the question and suggestion. It's really, really cool. Anything Bowie, Sophie is sold on. And Legwams News says that agrees with Cinematic about the Fantastic Four, about a Silver Surfer and Human Torch. This says hates Galactus.
Yeah,
got that wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
JSX Fun says, what's everyone's favorite genre of movies? Justin, what's your favorite genre?
That's not fair. I have to think of that one. Like, I really like treasure hunt movies, but we don't get a lot of them, honestly. Like, I really like them. Like, I love Indiana Jones and National Treasure, and like even like The Hobbit. I mean, obviously it's not a treasure hunt movie type thing, but like it's got that undertone in it. So I really like them a lot. Uncharted was like, okay, but yeah, I'm overdue for one of those. So that's what I would pick.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Uncharted's been like the latest one that we've had. Then of course you've got National Treasure as well. So yeah, what about you, Pete?
For me, I'd probably say horrors or thrillers, something with a good story, something that get under your skin, make you feel unsettled, give you a thrilling time.
Right. Yeah, I think I've got to agree with both of you guys, because like the horror, like especially like, well, with my partner, she loves horrors, so we're always mainly watching them, and I've definitely got a lot more into horrors in the last kind of couple of years.
You picked a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like the thing what you were saying, Justin, about like the treasure hunts, like they're just like kind of like just fun, like just sit back kind of movies, and especially like Indiana Jones. You know, I'm excited to see where they're going to go with Indy 5.
You like to put the puzzle together in your head, like with the character. So I just think that's cool.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And then what you were saying, Pete, as well about psychological. I was only just recently I watched Seven for the first ever time.
Yeah.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
That awesome movie, Justin. You look. I think you'll look for that one.
Okay.
That one's awesome. Yeah. So we've also got here. Try Bowie film, The Linguini Incident. Yeah, never heard of that. There's a big Bowie chat tonight. Never heard of that one. And Justin, Sophie said that she's just subscribed to you as well.
Oh, thank you. I'll have to check out your channel too. There's so many people in the comments that I just like have never heard of. I'm not trying to be rude to them, but I got some work to do after this stream.
Right. Definitely. So yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for doing that, Sophie. And yeah, Justin, awesome guy. So Justin, so at the moment, so what are you working on and like videos you got coming up?
So like I said, I've tried to juggle around with some video ideas like the Doctor Strange, whether it be a live stream or a regular video or spoilers, but like I just kind of threw it out the window. I want to stream some more Resident Evil again. I just did the We Need to Talk review like 2 weeks ago. I was literally editing the Stranger Things video that's going to be coming out by the end of the month. It's like an entertainment road trip, touring locations, all that fun stuff. Just for season 1, and the other 2 and 3 are going to release later in the year. And then once 4 has gotten popular and some of the places have been known, I'll go check out those as well. I'm also going to be doing an Evil Dead the game unboxing video either tomorrow or Saturday.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's nice. So one of the cool thing about Justin's channel is his entertainment road trip videos. It's so awesome. So I know recently he did one where he went to see the Friday the 13th locations. He's done Dawn of the Dead as well, and those videos, man, I love them.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm sure my partner Emma them as well because she's a huge horror fan, and she's like, so awesome. So I watched your videos twice each time around because I'm like, oh, Emma, we've got to watch this one as well now.
I'm flattered.
Dude, they're awesome. And Pete, what about you, man? So I know on your channel you mainly do like kind of like weekly pickup videos and like physical media ones, and you do obviously your live stream every Wednesday.
Yeah.
But have you got any other videos coming out soon? Or?
Well, I'm probably going to do some movie reviews. Going to probably do some trips out and probably do some video game reviews.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know like when you get like a new video game, you review that. Like recently did like Lego Star Wars. Which I haven't got yet. I'm dying to get that game.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Such a good
If you don't
game.
mind me asking, how do you do your video game reviews?
How do I do them? I break down a script online and basically talk about them, and then I get some footage and then put it over it. That's what I do.
Okay, so are you in the video, or is it just like you're kind of doing like a?
It's just showing footage of the game. I am thinking about putting myself in the video, but
cool.
It's something to experiment with later on.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike, if you remember this, but I think like way back, I did a review for like the Spider-Man video game and like Mega Man 11 on Switch, but like I think writing the script as Pete was saying, and then getting footage and then filming stuff in front of the camera, I always thought it was kind of overwhelming, but like I definitely like his idea.
Yeah. So Pete, when he does like the video game reviews, are awesome because he'll show maybe like say like actual gameplay footage or like trailer footage or maybe like a mix of both. I'm not sure exactly. No, I always watch them, but yeah, I feel like the script is like a cool idea. Or like Justin, when you do like your Resident Evil, like play along kind of ones, you can always just record some of them footage for like a video game. Just get like different clips and then just talk about the game. You don't have to talk about like, oh, this is the start of the game to the end of it. You can just you have the footage and then make the script like Pete does.
Yeah, I could.
It's an idea. But yeah, Pete, that's pretty cool, man. What you got coming up? I didn't know that you did movie reviews. I know like sometimes when you do your physical media, you might be like, oh, I've seen this movie or I've not seen this movie. So I'm excited to see that you're going to do movie reviews. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did try it last year, and then I just stopped, and then I've been thinking about bringing it back for a little while. So I thought, you know what, do it. I was going to do it for a couple of new films, but it's just like, oh, do it. I've got to be careful not to spoil anything. This is the worrying thing about newer films.
It's so hard to be coy about stuff because, like, any morning. My friend Candace in Australia, I was just like, oh yeah, the new Doctor Strange was good. She's like, hey, spoilers, mate. I was like, I just said it was good. I was just like, but she doesn't watch trailers or anything. So like she goes in completely blind. So you don't know like what people consider spoilers anymore. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, true. Well, yes. Well, both guys got awesome content. The links are down below in the description. Please go check them out. We've got some more comments here as well. So Sophie,
Pete, I just subscribed to you, so I remember.
Exactly. Well, Sophie says she doesn't make videos at the moment, but she's coming back soon. So, yes, Sophie, please do let us know when you're making videos. We'll certainly check them out. And yeah, definitely want to subscribe to your channel
Part
as well.
of the family.
Exactly. And yeah, she said she also wants to watch the Stranger Things Entertainment road trips. Well, Justin does have one on his channel. Was it New York, Justin? You went?
Yeah. So that was sort of an entertainment road trip. It was like the Stranger Things store that they had in New York City. So I just did a video of that, and that was really cool to see. And then the one I'm going to actually in 2 weeks is the Stranger Things VIP experience in New York City. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on it though, just because like sometimes you want to just be in the moment with your gang and stuff. So
right,
we'll see.
Right.
But thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think that'd be interesting. I've never heard about the VIP experience once. That's new to me.
I think it's like a walkthrough thing. Like you walk through for like an hour or so, and they have like all this immersive stuff and like upside down. Like you go through the upside down tunnels and stuff. So I think it's like an interactive experience type of like thing.
Oh, awesome! That sounds cool.
I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine. We've got Cinematic saying, JJ, are you going to make a vlog of your trip to Australia?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm kind of like overwhelmed because I got my visa to go to Australia, and then like my friend Candace bought me a SIM card for data over there. So I'm like, she has to bring my drone. I was like, I don't know if I want to like complicate my customs and stuff right now. I'm sure it's fine, but like I don't know. So
right. You just have to wait and see, basically.
Yeah, like a little bit of anxiety, but I'm sure it's normal.
Yeah, sure. Well, especially when you're like traveling somewhere you've never been before as well.
At least they speak English over there. It won't be that hard.
Right. Well, Sophie's saying she can't wait to go see Stranger Things. And yeah, just let know anyone who's watching right now, please feel free to drop any messages and questions in the chat and we'll answer them. GCX Fun. So I answered this the other week because I got asked about any celebrity on my channel who I'd want to interview. Mine would be William Zabka, of course, Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai. Pete, what about you? So if you could have any celebrity on your channel for an interview, who would you have?
I don't know, that's a hard question to think about, but an actor I'm thinking off the top of my head, I'd like to interview Mads Mikkelsen. I think it'd be quite an interesting one.
Right. And would you ask him about Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah. That's true. I also like to ask him about Death Stranding, the video game. Have you ever played that one?
Yeah, I've got.
I gotta get to it.
I think I've got it actually. Yeah, hold on.
His whole shelf just comes down.
Oh wow, that's a nice set.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, dude, I love the video game. Justin, what about you? Just while I put this away.
Probably if it would be anyone. I always wanted to talk to Maya Hawke. Like obviously she's an attractive woman, but she's very talented. She's in the Fear Street movie, Stranger Things. She was in that Rebel Robin podcast I listened to. And there's just so many other projects she's worked on. She's got so much under her belt at a young age. I'm just fascinated by that. And she's still, because you hear about sometimes when people are younger, they kind of get overwhelmed, and when they reach adulthood, they just want to kind of not do that anymore. But she's consistently awesome. So yeah, definitely want to do that.
Yeah, and I remember on your channel you did the series of Rebel Robin, and you kind of reviewed each one and talked about them. Yeah, she seems like a very talented actress. And in the Fear Street, was she just in the first Fear Street movie?
Yeah, she was at the beginning of the first Fear Street movie.
Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, some really cool choices there. And we've got let's keep the movies coming. Just in, how's it going, lads? Hope your days are going well. Are you guys looking forward to Top Gun Maverick? So yeah, firstly, man, hello, thank you for joining the chat.
Hey, Ryan.
So I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick because I've seen the trailer and it looks incredible. The fact that Tom Cruise does his own stunts and some of the camera angles it looks like in that movie where it's like inside the cockpit and him doing like the turns looks crazy. But I've never seen the first Top Gun, so I need to watch that one first before the new one. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I like the first one. I think the first one just capitalized the whole 80s perfectly. It does with the soundtrack and like the flying and Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer in it. I'm really looking forward to this new one. The reviews have been quite positive and definitely like the flight scenes look incredible. Apparently they were all done properly, no green screen at all.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not surprised to be honest though, because I mean like Tom Cruise does everything if he can. Which I admire though, because I prefer the practical thing to the CG. Because if it was any other actor, it'd be CG all the way through, and you'd be able to tell that it's CG. But the fact that I think this, especially with like Tom Cruise, it's been so many years since the first Top Gun, and like the technology's advanced since now. He obviously learned to fly a helicopter for Mission Impossible, so I think it just makes sense that like in Top Gun he's doing the same thing in like these extreme stunts. So yeah, we'll look forward to it. What about you, Justin?
Well, pretty much Pete said a lot of what I was going to say. Like, it definitely, like, the first movie encapsulated, like, the feel of the 80s and great soundtrack. And, like, am I, like, hyped for a second movie? I'm not hype. I'm interested still. And, like, my cousin Daniel is in the Navy. I think it was on the USS Roosevelt. And he was saying Tom Cruise and the crew were filming on their aircraft carrier for the movie. So like that's interesting to me. Like you were saying, all the like dog fights and stuff like that in the trailers look cool. I'm interested. I'm hoping maybe Val Kilmer will pop up, but who knows?
Right. I think it'll be a cool like little nod if they do.
I saw a picture of him in the trailer. Like
Right. I mean, I know what happens in Top Gun. I just never seen it. So I think we're all pretty much looking forward to it, or like intrigued by it. JCX says, great choice, guys. Didn't explain the answers. Pete, he said, so he's got a question for both you guys. He says, for Pete, as you as a horror fan, what's your favorite horror? And Justin, you mentioned Fear Street. So we'll go with Justin first. So Justin, you mentioned Fear Street. Did you enjoy those movies?
Oh yeah, Fear Street is really solid. As someone like Pete, I really love physical media. I would love for them to release that physically. I know Netflix kind of like picks and chooses what they release physically. It's a little weird. Like they'll release Cobra Kai season 3 on DVD only, but they'll release certain other things on Blu-ray and 4K. And they've released Stranger Things seasons 1 and 2 on 4K, and season 3 got lost in the dust. But going back to Fear Street, like I really like the movies. I thought they were. It's good we're at this point now where we're getting movies that encapsulate the 90s now instead of just like 80s, 70s galore. So I thought it was really well done. The third one I think was the weakest one for me, but even then it's kind of like Back to the Future where like the third one's the weakest for me, but even then I still really enjoyed the movie. So
can't agree.
But it's just like it's just the general notion. It's like I still loved all the movies, but if someone was just like pick their least favorite, I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. No, dude, like I agree, but that the Fear Street, I think the third one was the weakest one. For me, with Back to the Future, I think the third one's the second best, and the second one's the worst one. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And you're allowed to have that.
Or are you? and Pete, what about you? What's your favorite horror movie?
Oh, horror movie. I'll probably either say the original first Christopher Lee Dracula or American Werewolf in London.
That's awesome. So, American Werewolf in London, Halloween just gone was the first time me and my partner had seen it for the first ever time. Awesome movie, and the pub that they go to is maybe about an hour and a half from where we live.
Really? Wow.
So at some point, we're gonna go see it. I'm probably gonna do like a little vlog of like maybe go drive to it and just show it, because apparently I've heard that like some of the interior hasn't changed since the original movie. So yeah,
that's really cool. That'd be good to see a video of that.
Yeah, well, keep an eye out. We'll be coming to the channel at some point.
Okay, all right.
We've got Michael. So, hey, Michael, how you doing? He says, for some movie trailers, he says, stop watching them. I feel like it ruins a lot in the movies, from the marketing style to the scenes in the trailer. So, yeah, I'm going to kick this one off because I'm going to be honest, Michael, I kind of agree with you, because I think the issue is with movie trailers, especially like nowadays, is say if a movie's not really eventful, in the trailer they'll specifically show like every moment that's eventful. So whether it's like the start of the movie before it goes into like a time skip into the past or the future, whether it's like something that happens in the middle that kind of like kicks the movie back up after like a slow pace, or whether it's like near an ending of the movie or like a last scene, they always show that in the trailer. So you're basically seeing the movie before you see the movie. But some trailers recently I haven't minded as much because it's been like maybe like the first bits of like the first 30 minutes of the movie that's in the trailer, and then the rest of the movie is not in the trailer, so they hide it from you. So I think most of the time when I go to the cinema, I'll try to get there to not see the trailers, because I like to try going like Justin was saying about his friend. I'll try going blindly if I can. I'd prefer that. But Pete, what about you? What's your thoughts on movie trailers?
Movie trailers these days just love to spoil the whole film for you. You know the whole film more or less within the 2 minutes they show you. Halloween Kills is a primary example of that. I feel like I've already watched the film whilst watching the trailer. I mean, there's a few trailers out there that do just give you a little bit. I've heard that the Northman trailer is pretty good, that it doesn't really spoil anything.
Yeah.
But for me, probably one of the best trailers, whilst it does still show a lot, is probably No Way Home. Because whilst it does hint at stuff, it never shows you anything that is there.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think like No Way Home, again, it was kind of like the first like 30 minutes or so in that movie, besides obviously the big fight scene at the end. You got a bit of it. I think one thing that kind of makes it worse, because we want to hear from Justin's thoughts as well, I think one thing that makes it worse about the trailers is when they release the initial trailer, but then they release about 10 TV spots afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I hate
the
it.
Batman was horrendous for that.
Yeah, it's true. But then all them TV spots ruin the rest of the movie, because they've done so well to make like a big market movie, and instead of just using like some of that same trailer footage in a TV spot, they use like all brand new ones, like the Doctor Strange, for example. For anyone who has not seen it, I want to spoil it, but a TV spot ruined one of the cameos in there. It played like showed you the cameo in there. So, and I don't know. What about you, Justin? What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of with all. By the way, shout out to Michael in the comments. He's got a giant beer in his hand, so I respect him for that.
He does.
I just think they reveal too much. I think even for me, like for Spider-Man No Way Home, I think those trailers showed too much. And like even like we knew Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx like went out and said that they were going to be in the movie, so like they can't really avoid that. I think they said it when they weren't supposed to, but like I think you could have hidden like the Lizard and Sandman from the trailers or something like that. Like obviously we had some surprises in the movie when it came to be, but it was like I don't know. And there was what was that movie with Peter Dinklage in it? It was like a love movie that came out.
Toronto?
Yeah, that. It was literally showing the beginning of the movie and then showing at the middle portion the conflict that's going to happen at the middle movie. And then at the end, it shows that they feel bad about the conflict, so something's got to give. And then it shows at the ending hinting that something has given. And then I was like, okay, well, that's the movie.
Right.
Okay.
I still haven't seen that movie. I know, Pete, I think, did you get the physical copy of it?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
Okay, I thought I saw a video where you picked it up, but yeah, it must be someone else.
That was another Pete.
Right. Well, we've got JCX when he just said about the Fear Street very quickly. He said, thought Fear Street was okay, felt the story was good and the horror characters were awesome. It was just a bit kiddie, in his opinion, slightly watered down. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Like, it was by R.L. Stein, who did Goosebumps. So like when they've adapted Goosebumps, they've kind of done, apart from like the TV series a little bit back in the day, but especially like the Goosebumps movie that came out a couple of years ago with Jack Black, they was kind of watered down as well, like 12 years. So I can get where you come from. Dr. Impossible says,
I think Fear Street was definitely like I understand it is R.L. Stein, so there's going to be that like that campiness to it. I feel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but maybe one day someone will do like a gritty Goosebumps or something if R.L. Stein allows it.
I would love to see a gritty version of Goosebumps. I think
I'm still about that too. Not better.
Right, because I love the books, and I also love like the old TV series.
Oh yeah.
I used to be scared of the old TV series back when that was on. That was years ago. But yeah, I would love to see that. Dr. Impossible very quickly says, never seen Top Gun. I remember getting Top Gun soundtrack from Our Price back in 1986. Film was a great era of photography. Dude, that's dope. Like 1986. Wow. I think I actually remember Our Price as well. I think were they around to like maybe 2000s or early 2000s?
Yeah, I can remember the place. I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. And Sophie just saying so many classic films I've never seen. Same here. So we've got another question here from Lego M News. Which is a movie that you loved as a kid and you still love that movie? I'm going to very quickly answer this one. And I kind of touched it a little bit earlier on my stream. But Toy Story. So when I was young, I was shown the original Toy Story quite a lot of times. And I can still go back to that movie now. And that's still my favourite movie out of the whole lot of them. So, yeah, for me, I would say Toy Story. Justin, what about you?
So a movie that you loved, like when you were a child and still love?
So a movie you loved as a kid and you still love that movie now. Oh, sorry. Does it say, he said, do you still love that movie?
And do you still love the movie? Well, I mean, it's easy because I just say Back to the Future, like not just because you're here, Mike, but it's just like I would watch that first movie, like literally parts of it every morning before school. And then I finally got to the point where we rented 2 and 3. So like, yeah, like the first Back to the Future, I still love it. I got the 4K collection and it's great. I still love it. There's obviously movies that like, we don't like when we get older, but such is life.
Yeah, no, sure. And yeah, I think Back to the Future was one that like a lot of people grew up on as like being younger, and then like now as like getting older and like 4K releases and stuff, like it's kind of brought like a bit of a revitalization, especially with the musical. Pete, what about you? Is there a movie that you loved as a child and you still love that movie?
Well, recently I rewatched the Pirates film, so I'll probably say the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. Still absolutely love it. A lot of fun.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. So the cool thing is, late last year, I collabed on my friend Anthony A. Perez's channel, the Edman, for the Pirates of the Caribbean series, and I hadn't seen all the installments. I'd seen like bits of them, but I remember seeing the original one back in the cinema. And at the time, I was like just like a young teenager, and I was like, the movie is all right, nothing special. Then I rewatched it, and I was like, wow, this movie's awesome. It starts to dwindle when you get to like the 4th and the 5th installments. First 3 are a solid trilogy, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was one of the first movies like that, and Fantastic Four were like the 2 movies I was shocked that like my mom came to see with us, and we saw it as a family. So like I think that's why I like the original Fantastic Four, and like you were saying, Pirates is just because it got good memories and still holds up.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. I've got another question. It says, do you have a hatred for any actor who you would avoid seeing any of the movies? His is Adam Sandler. So funny and plays the same character in every movie. Well, I've got one, and I say this to my partner all the time. So for me, it would be Melissa McCarthy. Now, it's just because I'm not saying that she isn't a talented actress, and I know she's done like, I think a few movies, I'm not saying where she plays more of a serious role, and not just like the dumb comedic relief where she has to like fall into something all the time or get hurt or flirt on like a guy who's like 20 years younger than her. And I think with her, just for me personally, is I know the movie she's in is directed by her husband. I think it's like their own film studio. So obviously it's kind of like the same shtick, like what you're saying about Adam Sandler. It's kind of like the same shtick that she plays in like every single movie. So for mine's Melissa McCarthy. Justin?
Mine has got to be Kevin Hart. I've never liked Kevin Hart. He's short. Nothing against short people, but it's just like that's the first thing that came to mind. Sorry, but like he's just not funny. Like I know I should think he's funny because like the stereotype is like all white people think Kevin Hart's funny, but like, he's from Philly. And I should like him because he's from my area, but it's just like he's loud, he's obnoxious, and like when someone says a joke or someone says something, he just reiterates it, but in like a baby voice or like I don't know. It's just it comes off like he's trying way too hard, or not putting in much effort. So I kind of liked him in that Jumanji movie though. Like I thought he was decent in that.
Yeah, Jumanji's awesome, and like for me personally, I think he's got a couple of like good comedy roles. I think it's like one of these where if you've seen a movie, it's I can't remember the movie. It's him and Bryan Cranston.
The Upside, I think it's
The
called.
Upside. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's
Okay.
probably one of my favorite roles with him in because he's still a big comedy, but he plays more of a serious character.
Yeah, it's a more dramatic film, isn't it?
Okay,
Right.
yeah, I haven't seen
Back on
that
the
one,
comedy.
and I want to see that. Oh shoot, I forgot. Kevin Hart was in Scary Movie 3. I thought he was funny in that. I think.
So yeah,
how you gonna go to bed dead?
So yeah, I think like with Kevin Hart, like I get where you're coming from for sure, and I think like in some comedy movies, I like him personally. Like I've got nothing against him. I just think like a bit like Melissa McCarthy though is like if there were more serious roles, they would probably be better because they've obviously got potential. Otherwise, they would have never got signed as an actor. But when you see them in like the same shtick, film after film, there's only so much you can kind of take. But Pete, what about you?
I'm gonna have to agree, Kevin Hart. I watched Hobbs and Shaw, and then he popped up in there for like an extended cameo. I was like, "What the heck are you doing in here?" They were in the plane for like 5 minutes. I'm like, come on, let's get back to the film. It's just like, what is the point in him being in there? And then after them, there was like another film called Get Hard, and I think there was Ride along as well. I watched a couple of them afterwards of Kevin Hart, and I was like, I don't really like this actor. But to be fair, he is pretty good in the Jumanji films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will have to say, I'm not trying to cut any of you guys off, but I personally love Adam Sandler. There's been a few stinkers. Like I didn't like Sand.
Yeah, I don't mind Adam Sandler.
I didn't like Sandy Wexler. He did that movie, but like Uncut Gems, the weekend of or the week of, I think it was called. That was a cool movie. Hubie Halloween is like a guilty pleasure of mine. It's stupid fun. And like, yeah, he is not wrong though. He plays a lot of roles in a similar way, just in a different setting. Like you could argue that like Hubie and like Bobby Boucher are like similar, you know, but like,
right.
So I get it, but yeah. I personally like him a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I think like with Adam Sandler, like again, I agree with the comment in terms of like he's the same in most movies. I think like kind of the thing that changed my aspect on him was years ago when I watched a film called Reign Over Me. It's him and Don Cheadle. And that was, I think, like his first movie where it's like more of a serious role. Where his wife, I believe his wife died, and it's basically about a study of him and like his emotions of like how he's trying to deal with the death afterwards. That was like the first movie I've seen where he's more serious, and I was like, wow, this guy's great. His most recent movies have been a bit terrible. They're nothing like Big Daddy or like The Wedding Singer or those that kind of timepiece Sandler, but yeah, I get where you come from. But it's like what you're saying about Kevin Hart. Like I kind of agree with you guys as well. So yeah, I get where you come from. But yeah, thank you for the question. Dr. Impossible says, I'm nearly 50, feel like 150 times wish I could go back to the 1980s. That was a great decade. 80s was an awesome decade for movies. A lot of big movies now are still getting 4Ks from the 80s. But yeah, and then Sophie says about actors, she says Jim Carrey. So he's great as the Riddler, and in Sonic and a couple of other films, but apart from that, I can't stand him. I'm going to say I have to disagree.
Same.
I mean, just because the guy, he's got like so many memorable movies, whether like or not, he's obviously The Mask was a big one. Of course, Sonic, as you mentioned, the Riddler and the Batman. I've still never seen that Batman movie. I do need to watch it though. But that one, of course, you've got him in. I like Yes Man that he was in.
Number 23, Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, Cable Guy. The Truman Show was fantastic. So yeah, but I can get where you're coming from. Obviously he's got like a very different style to his acting, and I can see some people being like they're not a fan of that.
Yeah, so some people, like I know Tommy Lee Jones, I think when they were working with him on Batman, he's just like, yo, man, I'm not going to tolerate your buffoonery or something like that. Like, he just didn't, like, I believe that's how the story went down. And like my friend Pat, his dad doesn't like him and says he's just too goofy. So I was like, I get it.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like that for like any actor or actress though. We'll have a thing where we'll be like, oh, we don't like them, but people are like, oh, I love them, So yeah, that's fair. Augustine Science says, I kind of hate the guy who played Black Panther. Don't think I'm gonna have to see him anymore. Well, yeah, obviously not. But yeah, Chadwick Boseman, yeah, he was cool. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's going to be really missed in Black Panther, especially. I'm excited to see how they're going to approach Black Panther.
He was great in 42. If any of y'all have seen that.
No, I haven't.
See,
The one about
is
I
he
believe
a detective?
no, 42 is the one about Jackie Robinson.
All right, no, I've not seen that
All
one.
right.
It's very good in it. Chadwick Boseman and Alan Tudyk.
Oh, okay, now I'm not.
And with Harrison Ford's in it too.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna have to check that out. Now I've never heard that one. We've got here. Hold on. He said, Dr. Mo says, "Okay, gents, recommend a Zemeckis film that isn't Back to the Future." So I would say, Flight. Have any of you guys seen Flight?
No, I'm Wikipediaing his movies,
No.
so I remember right now.
Right.
That's the one with Denzel Washington, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that movie in the cinemas. I really enjoyed that. And they did one a couple of years ago with that, like called The Wire, I believe, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which is based on a true story where he goes on across a wire across like some buildings. I quite enjoyed that. What other movies has he done, Justin?
I was just reading it. It said like he started out with like I Want to Hold Your Hand, Used Cars, Romancing the Stone, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump, Polar Express. Like I know some of them. Like I know he did Beowulf and Polar Express and whatnot, but I thought Beowulf was okay. But yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No. Well. What about you guys? If whoever wants to go first.
Pete.
Me? Well, I'll probably say either Castaway or Death Becomes Her. I think Death Becomes Her is like one of Bruce Willis's lesser known but really good films.
Right.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that movie once, like years ago, so I can't really remember it. From what I remember, though, I think I enjoyed it. I just didn't realize you directed that one, to be honest.
No,
Right,
no, I didn't until I checked Google.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough. Justin, what about you?
Well, yeah, like he's saying, sometimes like he did one or two movies, but like there's like I forgot he did Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and like so obviously that movie was really big and has a cult following, so I'd have to be that one. Like it said he did Forrest Gump too, right? So like
Yeah.
those are definitely two like solid like history making movies. So like or historical movies, like so.
Right, yeah, for sure. I've never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so I know.
They did the best crossover before Marvel did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great fun.
Sophie says Beowulf. So yeah, I've never seen that one. So make it film for me. Used Cars with Kurt Russell, Used Car Salesman at War, and produced by Steven Spielberg.
Ooh.
All right, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. That is supposed to be pretty good.
And GCXN just said to Sophie, can't believe you don't like Jim Carrey. Everyone has someone that they can't stand. Yeah, that's very true. So GCXN also says here, favorite action movie star. Iko Uwais is my current favorite. Schwarzenegger is my all-time favorite.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't watch like a lot of action movies. I would say for me personally, like in terms of like who I can maybe appreciate the most at the moment is probably Tom Cruise because he does all of his stunts. And like as Justin was saying, and like Top Gun coming out, like that's no screen because he took the time to learn how to fly the plane and to put the camera in there and get it in like what 8K quality or IMAX quality, whatever he's using. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know about favorite. I would probably say Schwarzenegger's a good one. Pete?
Stallone. I think Stallone's made some great films like the Rambo films. Rambo First Blood, so good. Demolition Man. Yeah,
Rambo. He's also on Stallone. Recently on Rashad's channel, I've been covering the Rambo movies with him and Rocky.
I've not seen any Rambo movies before.
Have you not?
Oh,
no, I haven't seen any of them.
Dude, the first one's awesome.
The first one's brilliant. Oh, one of the best 80s films.
Second one's good. Third one, nah.
Yeah. The fourth one is over the top violence. Over the top, the fourth one is.
Right.
But I haven't seen the new one. Have you?
Yes, I've seen. So what it was, right? So this is going to sound crazy, but with the Rambo movies, my introduction to them was number 4, then number 5, and I've only now just gone back to watch like number 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, I quite like the new one. I just thought, it's just stupid, but I was like, I'm here for it, you know. Like one of those movies, you can just turn your brain off and just be like, yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. So yeah, thank you for the question. Stan Stein said, I also kind of hated Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Ooh.
He did not.
So
Peter, why? He was great as Spider-Man.
So I can kind of get where you're coming from in terms of like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I would say in terms of that, it's because the movies I enjoy them. Like they're not perfect Spider-Man movies, but I enjoy them. But I think it's the fact of like how they were done that kind of ruined those movies, and then he got his justification in No Way Home, and that like really vitalized him. And like that's when fans have actually now been on Twitter being like, bring Amazing Spider-Man 3. Before then, they weren't asking for that. But yeah, I'm assuming you guys disagree with this statement as well.
Yeah, I definitely. Also, to answer this question, I don't know if Donnie Yen, like if martial arts and action star can be blended into one category. I don't know if he was saying that, but if it was like, I would pick Donnie Yen definitely for like my favorite like modern action star at least, because he's just awesome.
Right.
But Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man. Like I said, I can't really defend Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's some decent stuff in there, but 2/3 of it's just But yeah, I just liked him. Like I'm a nerd, but I don't have I don't wear my glasses constantly. Have a pocket protector and I'm smart about science. So like that was Andrew Garfield was the modern nerd. So I like that, even though he was like was he like 30 in the first Amazing Spider-Man or something? Playing a 17-year-old. So I was like, okay, but
right. Yeah, and I think with like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think again what let it like that movie down, because I prefer the first one, is not Andrew Garfield, it's the studio and the editing teams and that kind of stuff. But Pete, what about you?
Yeah, I think Andrew Garfield was great. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, his relationship with Emma Stone was brilliant. You definitely see the chemistry between them, and then with like No Way Home, just really, really improved it all. And when he like appeared in it, apparently in cinemas, the screams were more louder for him than Toby.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me. When I went to go see it, every time I went to go see it, everyone was more hyped to see him than Toby. I mean, for me, I would say, I would agree with that, but like Toby was a very close second, because first ever Spider-Man movies I saw was the Tobey Maguire ones.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of get where the coming days again, where you say like Bill bothered him, but like Toby so much better. The one thing I can say about like the Spider-Mans is like they all have their own personalities in the movie, and like Tom Holland, I would say is probably the most believable in terms of a teenage Peter Parker, and like, he generally looks like he belongs in school, whereas Tobey Maguire and Garfield look more like they belong in college or like university.
Yeah.
Or like older, like as if they've been away for like 10 years, didn't decide to go to school and they decide to come back to study. I believe like that for me. JCX just says, Tobey Maguire's least favourite probably because Spider-Man is in high school and Tobey Maguire looked too old for the original. Yeah, I mean, mid-20s.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I think also you have the problem with back then, they didn't really perfect a way for older people to look and dress slightly younger in movies, because you had even Tom Welling. Like, I love Smallville, but Tom Welling's supposed to be, although they don't mention it a lot, he's supposed to be 14 in the first season of Smallville, and dude looks like he's 23. I was just like, all right, man. But like Andrew Garfield, at least, like they put makeup on him, like he has like the skate clothes. He wears his like sleeves like almost over his hands a little bit, and like he's kind of like, he just acts like someone who's that age at least.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree, and I think especially like nowadays, like they make them specifically to look in that piece, whereas like back then in early 2000 and they did the original Spider-Man movies, like Marvel at that point wasn't in a good standstead. Like they did like Daredevil before then, that wasn't a hit. And they did others and just wasn't a hit. So with Spider-Man, they're probably just like, oh, let's get someone who looks like they could be in high school. And just roll with it,
And I think the problem is too, I think, is this like, do we have to shrink our window and find someone? If Spider-Man's 17, this movie going on 18, do we have to find an actor who's 18 to 21 or 22? Or do we cast someone who's 16 or 17, but since they're that age, they're only going to be allowed to film 6 hours a day?
Right.
So I think it might also come down to that. So
Yeah.
Unless some laws haven't changed, I might not know.
No, I think there's still a thing with like children actors and actresses and stuff only allowed like to do so much hour like per work. Because like I know there's a page I follow on Facebook where you they've got like the girl who plays Iron Man's daughter in Avengers Endgame.
Okay, yeah.
They've got her to the, I think Morgan, I might be wrong, but they've got her onto like their casting, but she can only do like 2 hours for autographs. Whereas like in adults, you know yourself, so if you guys go to a Comic-Con, they can do like all day.
Yeah, as many as they want.
So yeah, I think it's very similar for like acting. They'll probably be allowed to do like so many hours in a day. But yeah, I'm not sure. G-Tech says, yeah, that's true, Justin. I suppose you could go back to Grease movies, and some of the cast in that movie supposed to be in high school look old as hell. Some of them are balding.
Yeah. I feel that. Because like, especially for me, like if someone said, hey, do you want to be a college student in a movie? I'd probably accept that. But like if someone said high school, like I'm not, my hairline ain't perfect either. So like I know, like I would definitely not fit in as a 17 or 18-year-old high school kid. So I'm 30, so I don't think that can be pulled off.
Right. Well, dude, same here. I don't think I could blend in going back to school. Maybe university I could pass for, but doubt it. And Pete, I think you could pass for college, dude.
Yeah, definitely college.
So yeah, we're basically gonna probably wrap this up now. But I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's tuning in live or even after the fact for watching the stream. Of course, Z Talks is a weekly live stream I plan to do every week, have different guests on. But I just want to take a moment very quickly just to thank Justin from his channel, GG Lomas.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, dude. Appreciate you being here and taking the time to do it. And the link for Justin's channel is in the description box below. So please go check him out. Again, he does entertainment road trips, he does reviews, he does all sorts of videos, and he's also got some videos coming up about Stranger Things as well. So definitely check that out. And I also
Pete's on the move.
Yeah, the kettle was on. They were putting the kettle on, so I thought about a move.
Fair enough. And yeah, I also just want to give a quick thank you to Pete as well for being the guest, because first time Pete is on the channel. I've really admired his channel, and definitely if you love physical media or just want to see physical media pickups every week and live stream and video game reviews, Pete is the channel to go for. So yeah, fellas, do you have any last words to say before we end the stream?
Oh, just thanks for having me, and great to meet you, Justin.
Yeah, thank you. You too. I agreed. Like I like shooting the shit. This is cool. Like you don't really have too much of a strict thing you need to get out of the way. It's just bullshit.
Right. Of course. Yeah. And this is like the whole purpose of this weekly live stream. I like it just where we can just talk like about anything and everything really. So yeah, again, just thanks guys. And again, if you're interested in Justin or Pete's channel, the links are in the description box. Please go subscribe to both channels and tell them that you saw them from the live stream. But yeah, until next week, we'll see you guys later.
Take care.